Okay, hello everyone. Let us continue the second part of today's class. Okay, so we have said that equation 61 can be rewritten as the following form. Okay, so the first element of this vector, should be summation I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, and summation k is equal to 1 to m. Okay, and j I1. Okay, so this I should be italic. Okay, and this n should be italic, and this k should be italic. Excuse me. Okay, and this m should be italic. Okay, capital JI1 times capital J. J IK. Okay, and then times delta beta k. Okay, good. And vertical lines. Okay, and what is the last element of this vector? Let us go back to the handout. So the last element should be this term where j is equal to m. Okay, so we just need to copy this the first element to here and change this index 1 to m. Okay, that is all. That's all. Okay, so this vector is equal to another vector. Okay, so 3 boxes. Okay, here. Okay, so on the right hand side of the equation should be summation I is equal to 1 to n capital Jij delta yi, where j is equal to 1 to m. Okay, so the first term should be summation. Okay, I should be italic, is equal to 1 to n. Okay, n should be italic. Okay, and j capital JI1 and delta so I can copy this and paste here. Okay, delta yi. Okay, good. So next is the vertical dots. And what is the last element? Okay, last element should be summation I is equal to 1 to n capital Jij delta yi, where j is equal to m. Excuse me. So I only need to copy the first element and paste here and change this index 1 to m. Okay, and make it italic. Okay, so this is equation 1. Okay, good. So the left hand side of equation 1 can be rewritten as Okay, let us copy this vector, okay, and paste here, okay, like this. So first we note that ji1 does not depend on k, so we can move ji1 out of the second summation, okay, like this. Okay, similarly jim does not depend on k, so we can move jim out of the second summation. Okay, so okay, our goal is to prove that, okay, the left hand side is equal to J transpose J delta beta. Okay, so first we need to decompose this vector into a matrix, okay, and multiplied by a vector, okay, like this. So the let us see the first row of the matrix. Okay, so the first row of the matrix should be capital Ji1, where I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, so the first element of the first row should be Ji1, where I is equal to 1. So it is equal to capital J11. Okay, and then let us input horizontal dots. Okay, and the last element of the first row should be capital Ji1, where I is equal to n. Okay, so we only need to copy J11 to here and change the first index to n. Okay, and italic. Okay, and as for this vector, okay, this vector should be this term, okay, where I is equal to 1. Okay, so I only need to copy this term to here and change I to 1. Okay, so this is summation k is equal to 1 to m, capital J1k delta beta k, and the vertical dots. So for the last element, we only need to copy the first element here and change 1 to n. Okay, so this should be jnk and n should be italic. Okay, good. Okay, let us go back to the first matrix. Okay, so let us input the vertical dots here, and here should be vertical dots, and here should be vertical dots. Okay, and for the last element, last row of the matrix, the elements are capital Jim, where I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, so you can see that we only need to copy the first row here and change the second index to m. Okay, so J11 copy here and change the second index to m. Okay, italic, and horizontal dots, and jn1 copy to here and change the second elements to m. Okay, good. Okay, so let me align these two equations at the location of the inequality sign. Okay, and make this equality sign white. Okay, and this is equation 2. Oh, sorry. Okay, good. Excuse me. Okay, next, in equation 58, we know that. Okay, let us see equation 58. Okay, in equation 58, there is a term, capital Jij. Okay, we know that it is the ijth entry of the matrix J. Okay, so the ij's entry of J, okay, is, oh, this should not be bold. Okay, is, okay, J ij. Okay, for, okay, I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, because from this summation we can know that the range of I is from 1 to n. Okay, and J is equal to 1 to m. Okay, why do we know J is equal to 1 to m? Okay, please see the handout. Okay, in equation 59, we can see that J is equal to 1 to m. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so J okay is an, oh sorry, it should be not bold. Okay, is an n by m. Okay, m should be italic. Matrix, and okay, we can write J as a matrix. Okay, J is equal to a matrix. Okay, so let me input brackets and 9 boxes. Okay, so first row, the first element is equal to J11, and the horizontal dots, and this element should be J1M. Okay, J1M. Okay, good. Okay, because small j is equal to 1 to m. Okay, and here is vector dots and diagonal dots and vertical dots. And for the last row, the first element should be Jn1. Okay, because I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, Jn, oh sorry, n1. Okay, that is okay, and the dots, and finally this should be Jn or nm. Okay, because I the last value of I is n, and the last value of small j is m. Okay, and it is equation 3. Okay, then the matrix in equation 2 is J transpose. Okay, J should be bold. Okay, why? Because you can see that it's J11 to Jn1 and J1m to Jnm, and in this matrix Jn1 comes to here and J1m comes to here, so we can know that this matrix is J transpose. Okay, equation 2 can be rewritten as, okay, so equation 2, the first matrix is J transpose, and the vector is still the same. Okay, it's this vector. Okay, so it is equal to, okay, next let us look at the result. So next we should have J times delta beta. Okay, so we need to decompose this vector into the product of a matrix and another vector. Okay, so this is equal to J transpose and times a matrix. Okay, and then times a vector. Okay, like this. Oh, okay, let me save this file. Okay, page 47 and problem 49. Okay, and save to the blackboard. Okay, good. Okay, so let us see the first row of this matrix should be capital JIK, where K is 1 to M. Okay, so the first element should be capital J11. Okay, so we can just copy this and paste here, and this should be horizontal dots. And the last element of the first row should be J1K, where K is equal to M. Okay, so this element should be J1M. Okay, and for this vector, the elements of this vector should be delta beta K, where K is equal to 1 to M. Okay, so the first element should be delta beta K, and K is equal to 1. Okay, and vertical dots. And the last element should be delta beta K, where K is equal to M. Okay. Okay, so like this. Okay. And here, okay, is the vertical dots. And here is the diagonal dots. And here is the vertical dots. Okay, and let us see the last row of this matrix should be JNK, where K is equal to 1 to M. Okay, so the first element should be JNK, where K is equal to 1. That is JN1. Okay, and the horizontal dots. and the last element should be jnk, where k is equal to m. Okay, so it should be jnm. Okay, like this. Okay, it is equation 4. Okay, let us continue. Okay, note that the matrix in the right hand side, okay, abbreviated RHS of 4, okay, is exactly J, capital J and bold J, not italic. Okay, you can compare this matrix and J. You can see that there are they are totally the same. Okay, so this matrix is equal to J, and then that or let, okay, delta beta it is a vector, okay, is equal to this vector. Okay, so this is equation 5. Okay, then we know that equation 4 is equal to, okay, this is J transpose, and this is J, and this vector is delta beta. Okay, so equation 4 is equal to J transpose and times J, okay, and times delta beta. Okay, like this. Okay, it is equation 6. Okay, and the right hand side of equation 1 is, okay, let us see the right hand side of equation 1. Okay, is this vector. So we can copy the vector and paste here. Okay, so it is summation I is equal to 1 to n capital Ji1 delta yi vertical dots, summation I is equal to 1 to n capital Jim delta yi. So now you can know that, okay, because the result is J transpose delta y, so we need to try to decompose this vector as the product of a matrix and a vector. So let us input brackets, and the first one should be a matrix, and the second one should be a vector. Okay, and the first row of the matrix should be Ji1, where I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, so Ji1, and the first element is I. In the first element, I is equal to 1. So this should be J11. Okay, and next this should be horizontal dots. Okay, and the last element is also Ji1. Okay, where I is equal to n. Okay, like this. Okay, and so on. So we can input vertical dots here. and here is diagonal dots, and here is the vertical dots. Okay, it is 25 minutes. Let us take a break.